steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
From the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas, this is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Friday, July 10th. Got another big World Cup game today, second game of the quarterfinals on Friday. We've also got Major League Baseball today, the WNBA, and more. Currently, we've got Wimbledon going on here right now, and a great match underway, still just early here in the first set. True Cinderella story, Arthur Ferre of Great Britain. Man, this guy's been a wild card entry here. He's in the semifinals. I mean, obviously, this is the first British wild card to reach a major semifinal in the Open era, and really, look, he's going to be better than that, obviously, but he might also just be, kind of a grass court specific player here, getting the wild card entry. Just a young player, but with kind of a athletic or a background here that allows him the opportunity to be a professional tennis player. His mother was a professional tennis player, and his dad is the president of FC Lorient of League One, the French football team, the team president. So very good athletic resume here, if you will, and given Zverev a hard time here so far. They've already broken each other once here in the first set, and should be a pretty good match here. I have a premium play on Ferre here. Sent out of their +6 games. Going to be a long match here. He's probably not going to beat Zverev, but maybe he will hang in here in these matches. Seems pretty gritty here right now against Zverev with a nice touch right there. So good tennis action here going on. Scottish Open. Is Scotty gonna finish and miss the cut here at the Scottish Open right now? Players out there currently on the course, but Scotty's already finished his round. He did not have a good round, and Scotty in danger here of missing the cut at the Scottish Open. Hey, the real tournament's next week, but you don't want to have a couple days to stew on it if you're Scotty Scheffler, but not a great day for Scotty here. And it is Englishman here, Jordan Smith, currently in the lead by 1 stroke over Matt Fitzpatrick. Here currently at the Scottish Open at the 9 under and 8 under respectively. A German player here, Nikolai von Dellinghausen, currently in 3rd place at the Scottish Open here. So having a great time out here at Wimbledon right now, and good to see everyone here. Great action last night, including that World Cup matchup with France defeating Morocco 2-0 again. Just as they did 4 years ago, France was able to defeat Morocco. Mbappe had his first penalty shot of the game in the first half turned away by the Moroccan goalkeeper, but he scored at the 60th minute, and then he added another assist, and it was France able to win and advance, the first team into the Final Four at the World Cup yesterday. And also we had some winners here on Morning Steam Show in Major League Baseball yesterday, including Atlanta and Pittsburgh game to go over. We had that one over yesterday, as turned out to be another high-scoring game with Pittsburgh and Atlanta, obviously their offense was cooking too, as it was a 10-5 win for Atlanta, but we had the over in the first 5 here. Morning steam winner also with Cincinnati Reds on the run line against Philadelphia in that 1-0 win. Luzardo on the hill gets the win in that one. Also, Milwaukee getting the win over St. Louis there, 8-4. We had the winner over there on the Cover the Spread show. Hey, join me in the Cover the Spread show every day. You can get my Cover the Spread show. We had 3-0 with our big 3 yesterday. Go over to winnable.com/Ramon and sign up for free. Get free picks from me over at winnable.com. If you don't want to get free picks from me, well, you can just stick around here and get plenty from the crew in the chat once they roll in here, and that'll be fine. But you can get a video delivered to you every day when you subscribe over at winnable.com/Ramon. I got my top 3 free plays over there and a 2-team parlay. You can break them up if you want, but that's how we do it on that show. And I had the Brewers yesterday on that Cover the Spread show, so check that show out. Go to winnable.com/Ramon. Sign up for free. You don't need to get the paid picks. You don't want to, but also, it was yesterday, Yankees over Tampa Bay, 12-4, and they finally got another one. They split the series, actually, so still just winding up here, 4 games behind Tampa Bay right now. But, hey, Tampa Bay still in first and looking pretty good there this weekend against the Yankees, even though it was a split. Was the Mets over Kansas City, pasting them there 7-3 in that one, as the Mets finally got a win yesterday. Tyrone Taylor homered during a 5-run 5th inning. Mark Vientos of the Mets did get hit by a pitch, broke his hand. He's on the injured list after that one. The 5 different Mets have led off the first inning with a home run. Hey, if you got 5 leadoff hitters, you don't have one. Baltimore over the Cubs. How about that? 3-2 yesterday. The Orioles were able to get the home win yesterday with Trevor Rogers. We said that those 2 pitchers, Rogers anyway, had looked pretty good. Cleveland over Minnesota, 8-2 as the Guardians get the win behind Williams and paced the Twins there in a key American League Central matchup. Gavin Williams struck out 11 and gave him just 3 hits in 7 innings. Cade Smith saved number 27. Cleveland and the White Sox are tied for first now in the AL Central, but don't forget, right behind them now at this point, it's a race. Minnesota just 2 games back. Detroit 4.5 back in the American League mediocre Central. Boston, another win over the White Sox, 6 in a row here for the Bo Sox as they continue to roll. Caleb Durbin, a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Boston won their 6th in a row and 11 of their last 18. The White Sox have lost 6 of 8. They're falling into that situation there in the division. Miami wins again over Seattle. Miami continues to be hot here. One of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the league. What a story right now with this Miami team. You think about it, nobody was really counting on them to do anything, it felt like, early on at all this season. They've played their way right into a pennant position here, or a pennant race here for the second half of the season. They refuse to go away right now with these Marlins. They beat the Mariners yesterday, 8-4, and best 20 game span in franchise history, 16-4 right now. This is a team that has won world championship. Right now, they're now 10 games over 500, 26-8 since June 1st, 3 games back in the division, and get this, they're tied with the Dodgers for the most sweeps this season in the National League. So look, you could think of maybe manager of the year. Maybe it is Don Mattingly. Maybe it is Walt Weiss of Atlanta. But Clayton McCullough here, pretty good, right? He's about 5-1 right now. But they're like 15-1 to win the division because they're in 3rd place, and 45-1 to win the pennant right now, and they look pretty good. Wouldn't it be funny if the Dodgers couldn't make it or something, and it was the Rays and the Marlins in the World Series. Detroit beat the Athletics 4-1 behind Valdez. We had a morning steam winner first 5 on Detroit in that one. Also, it was Texas over the Angels 7-6. We had a morning steam winner here as well in the first 5 in that one. Also had to cover the spread winner on the over in that game. Arizona knocked off my Padres 3-1, but I had to cover the spread winner on the under in that game. So that gave us our sweep over there on the cover the spread video. And San Francisco with the win over Colorado as the Giants, one of the biggest advantages over any team right now in any heads-up series as they continue to dominate Colorado right now at epic proportions here of late as San Francisco continues to pound. I believe it's now 19 out of 20 in San Francisco between the two teams and 7 in a row at Oracle. All right, that's a look there at Major League Baseball. So pretty nice day. Hopefully we'll keep it going here with our premium picks as well. Did have one premium pick winner there yesterday with the Atlanta Braves over the Pittsburgh Pirates. We had some other nice premium winners here already from yesterday as well. And with some action here in the major leagues, we had the late winner last night. I mentioned there Rockies and Giants game to go over yesterday was a winner. So also our CFL pick may not have gone under there. We had under 57 yesterday. The line did go up to 57.5, 58, 58.5, but yeah, I'll call it a push. We did try to go under yesterday with our premium selection, and it did definitely go under 57.5, but I gave it out at 57, and most people probably got a better line than that, but we'll just say, hey, you know what? If we don't win by 1, it's not a true winner. NBA Summer League action last night as well. Interesting card there as we saw that Utah game against Washington yesterday with Debanza and Peterson. Wizards won at 92-88. They had a bigger lead. Utah came back, but A.J. Debanza, 27 points, 0-5 from three-point range, 7 rebounds. And, he was kind of like a point guard out there, like a true point guard out there. And Peterson finished with 24 points on 6 of 18 shooting, 2 of 7 from 3. So we didn't get the same. Sorry about that. Can't got a paper cut here. I got to just tape up or something. Peterson did not have the performance that we had kind of been expecting, at least from that matchup, although the Wizards did win it over the Jazz 92-88. And Peterson was a little bit of a flop in the game there. So maybe a look there. We did have a couple winners there with our picks. We're going to come back at it for sure here with our plays in the NBA Summer League tonight. There's plenty of time to check that out here on this sports betting weekend. Of course, coming up tomorrow, if you want to get your weekend betting handle rolling, you can go over to the live tab and check out BB MMA Picks. We previewed 3 fights on this week's fight card, and our guest this week was Dagestan Poppy. Brought the old gang back together. So check out Poppy and BB and I. We previewed the McGregor-Holloway bout here this Saturday. It's going to be the biggest event of the year as far as maybe individual fights. Not quite the same effect as the fight card at the White House, but this one is deep. It probably is really a better card than that, but just the attraction of the big event in the White House there. But also we previewed Sandhagen and Bautista. And we previewed Gondra and Reese. So you want to check those out over at winnable. Underneath the live tab. That's what I meant to say there. And because your weekend started there with BB MMA Picks. And don't forget our live coverage with the guys. They'll be along here in the evening for the fight card live companion stream coverage on the new Sports Money Network. So make sure you join the guys there this weekend. All right. And let's maybe get rolling here a little bit. We did have the winner on the morning steam last night, yesterday morning in the Edmonton game over Ottawa. We took Edmonton there. They did crush Ottawa, by the way, in that game. 40-17. So we did have the winner at least on the side in that one. Also, WNBA yesterday, we did have talked about the Seattle and Atlanta game yesterday with those two. And look, the Storm, it depends where the line landed yesterday with that one. It was 89-78 in that one. We did come up on the short end with our first half play there, but nonetheless, it was Atlanta winning by 11. Seattle probably covered most of the numbers there in the end. Las Vegas won 88-80. They probably didn't cover yesterday. We were on Portland. They did not cover in the first half. We took Portland in the first half there yesterday, but probably could have rolled with them in the game because they ended up covering by a point in what turned out to be lower and under there, 88-80. And also it was Indiana and Phoenix. No Caitlin Clark, but Indiana was able to win it 92-89 in an over there yesterday. I was on Phoenix in that one, and that original number may have been right. So not best for me in the W. Let's get ready to go here in a moment. And you can get free picks from me. You can win a drawing here on the Sports Money Network. I'm going to hold a drawing here at the end of the show. All you got to do is comment in the chat, and you can win one free month of picks from me over at winnable.com/Ramon. Like I said, we had some pretty good winners there yesterday, and I'm going to try to bring some more home here today. But we did have a Summer League winner yesterday. My free selections with here in Vegas with the 76ers plus 5.5 against Detroit yesterday. Also brought home a winner yesterday with the Atlanta Braves, as mentioned. So check me out. All right, let's say hello to the folks in the chat here on a Friday. Let's get ready for a great sports weekend. And it's going to be, hey, good to see Sports Money Network here in the chat. And also here, Blake, good morning to Blake. And Nuke is here, everyone. Hey, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the new Sports Money Network, the 16,000 subscriber powerhouse. And Nuke's ready to go here. He's got France, Spain, and Argentina. Those three solid favorites ready to go. 1 down, 2 to go. And Bobby Mack, he's like all those fish heads out there touring around the country. Here. All right. Let's get ready to go here on the show right now. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. If you subscribe for 1 month at $19.95, it's 38 cents a day. If you like my show here and you like me to continue doing it here on the Sports Money Network, this is the best way for you to support me here on this channel right now. So check me out over at winnable.com. Let's get the festivities started here at the World Cup today with the really, truly blockbuster match here between Spain here in their matchup today with Belgium. You know, Belgium's not a team that they just invited to was uninvited here. Belgium is currently, a top 8 team. Like I said, you do have 6 of the top 8 teams in the world in the quarterfinals. One of them's gone now, obviously, but nonetheless, you've got a top-notch club here with Belgium in this one. They're not the favorite, but they're still in the top 8. Spain, certainly one of those top 2-3 teams here. I don't know if anybody has truly number 1 right now, the way France has looked, but Spain has yet to concede a single goal all tournament, with Simon setting a record 609 minutes without allowing a goal. Belgium, of course, demolished the USA 4-1 in the round of 16 to reach the quarterfinals. Belgium will be without midfielder Onana, ruled out for the remainder of the World Cup after suffering an ACL injury, while Spain's Nico Williams, the winger, is doubtful after suffering an abductor injury against Uruguay, but Rodri, the 24 Ballon d'Or winner, will still anchor Spain's midfield, flanked by Pedri, and of course the forward Orazabal leading the attack with 4 tournament goals. You don't even need to mention Lamine Yamal. They've got such an incredible supporting cast. That might be really what maybe does propel Spain. Maybe we put too much emphasis uh, on the young superstar for Spain. They've got so many other great players. So, but this quarterfinal here definitely is a mixture of Spain's impenetrable defense, basically right now, and a Belgium side that has scored 12 goals in the last 3 matches, all wins after their 2 draws to start the tournament. Technically, they're 3-2 against the spread. They failed to cover. In the tie, of course, against Egypt, they were favored by 1.5 goals. Then they were a favorite by 1.5 goals against Iran, and they drew that one 0-0. And you look like Belgium was going to be a phony. But they bounced back with a big win over New Zealand 5-1 to cover 2.5 goals. They beat Senegal, of course, 3-2 in extra time. They're not a cover technically because they were favored by 0.5 goal and it was a tie. So really they finished 2-3 overall against the spread. They beat the United States, of course. For Spain, their tie against Cape Verde was definitely not a cover. It was 0-0, and they were favored big time by 2.5 goals in that one. Then Saudi Arabia, favored by 2.5, they beat them by 4. Against Uruguay, they won 1-0, but they were 1.5 goal favorite. They were able to beat Austria, of course, 3-0. That's a cover, and beating Portugal 1-0. That was a cover, 0.5 goal. So 3-2 ATS, if you will, for Spain, and Belgium 2-3 overall. So see what you think here with these 2 here, and without Onana, certainly interesting there. And let's see what you guys want to do in the chat in this one, with Spain here favored by 1 goal, and the total 2.5 over 25. Yesterday's final was 2-0. Couldn't get a goal out of Morocco yesterday in that one. But let's see here what the folks have to say in the chat on our one big game here today at the World Cup between Spain and Belgium. Belgium has tied in 3 of their last 4 matches when coming in off of a win. Spain has won its last 4, obviously, but each team is certainly on a remarkable unbeaten streak. Belgium has not lost in 18 straight games right now. Yes, there's draws in there. Zverev wins the first set 7-6. Oh, hard set, but he won it. And for Spain, they have not lost in 34 straight matches. Could it be a draw? I mean, these guys have been going at it here for so long. Belgium's supposed to have a great chance, a great team here in this one. Now, to be fair, I do have Belgium in a futures ticket here, but I'm basically trying to fade Spain and France. That's probably not a good formula, but that's just where I ended up. And Belgium has failed to lose a match in, as I said, 18 straight. But all it would take is a draw for both these guys in the regulation, and they could still extend that streak despite not being able to win here. But we'll see if Spain can do it in regulation. Spain has seen the BTTS fail now in 5 straight matches because mostly of their, incredible defense, obviously, right now, not giving up any goals. So the over has hit in 3 straight when they are coming off of an under at the World Cup. Belgium has also seen the over hit in 3 straight matches, and for their last 6, dating back to their last match before the tournament. Also, each club here, Spain has scored over 2.5 goals in 3 straight matches, but they did score under 1.5, obviously, there in that prior match against Uruguay, and then nothing there against Cape Verde, one against Portugal. So, they kind of back and forth with how, hey, all you need is one if the other team gets zero. For Belgium, they've scored over 1.5 goals in 3 straight matches and 4 of their last 6, obviously here offensively with those, as we said, 12 goals in the last 3 matches. Might think here, Spain has a chance to even get a bigger number here should things get a little crazy. I think we can get a third goal out of these two, but let's see what you think. Belgium's actually gone over 3.5 goals in 4 straight World Cup knockout stage matches when playing in the CONCACAF region when the World Cup has been played on this side of the globe. I don't know if that's a stat or if that's just noise. Let's see what you got in the chat, and we'll make a pick here in this one between Belgium and Spain. And a great game today here. The game, by the way, today here is at 3 Eastern and noon Pacific time in SoFi Stadium. So, guess it's kind of, like I said, kind of how to help Europe over there. I think on Friday you might play a night game, but I got to accommodate everybody. And there it is. Nick said it. Zverev in there. I took Ferry here as a premium plus the 6 games in this one, so I'm not mad at you, but I'll take 3 7-6s if we can do it. But let's see here. We've got Spain for Robert. He likes them on the Asian handicap, and Spain money line first half here for Blake. And Dirty Red says he's got Belgium on a futures as well, like me. France, Spain, and Argentina futures for Woka's joke. He's basically got the 3 favorites there. I don't know if you make any money out of that. I guess you would. I mean, Spain and France were no better than, maybe you get at least 5-1. So, hey, that'll still be a winning ticket if one of those 2 favorites wins. I think you want Argentina to win, though, if you want to make any money, make some real money. And let's see. Odds are nice on Belgium to win it all. He said he had to take a shot. Yeah, me too. Me too. And Trevor's got the under. Oh, that's going to be Trevor going to be sweating this one out. But maybe, Zverev still could go on here and win one of these sets strong right now. But you're going to need one of them to be. You need straight sets win, and you need Ferry not to be competitive in one of these sets. And he's certainly looking the part here right now. Okay, is that it for the World Cup? Is that what we're talking about here today? Enjoy the game, and it should be great. Yesterday's game was certainly off the chart, off the hook, even though it was 2-0. I felt like a good tension there until they got that second goal late, and then you knew they pretty much were going to have it there overall. All right, great to see everyone here now. We're going to get ready to go to baseball. Let's look at a few more here with VAR. He says Spain to win with over 4.5 corners there. 5.5 corners there, and over 1.5 goals, and over 4.5 shots. I gotcha. And Fernando says Belgium goalkeeper to have 5 or more saves. Here come the shots. All right, and we'll see with Lukaku in there as well, of course. Lukaku came in and has some goals here. He's been mostly in as a sub here so far for Belgium. So do you start him or do you bring him in later? I think that's the big question mark with Lukaku and the veterans. De Bruyne didn't even play in the match against the United States, so he should be good to go. Crazy to think about that, really. All right, let's move to baseball here right now. Got a great tennis match here, huh? And we've got a 15-game card to go over here. Get your pens, pencils, and rotation orders ready. Play ball. We'll start it off now with the Brewers taking on the Pirates. Matchup here with the Pirates are favored here, $1.25 in this one over the Brewers with Ashcraft, of course, and 3.24 ERA, 9-3 record. Ashcraft been a big bright spot here for sure for Pittsburgh this season. What can you say? This Pittsburgh team, yes, the Milwaukee Brewers might be blitzing the pace here as far as this division here is concerned right now, but nonetheless, Pittsburgh is breathing in here a little bit and has a chance to at least try to get involved in a wild card spot. They're 500, but you really do need to be up there to about 10 games over right now to compete with teams, like the Cubs, like the Phillies, like Miami, like the Cardinals. Maybe they're a little bit too. So Pittsburgh really got their work cut out for them here in the second half of the season. Milwaukee is pretty warm here coming in. Pittsburgh did lose 2 straight games here to Atlanta, didn't win that series. Milwaukee, meanwhile, played a 5-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals and took them down big time. So the Cardinals have been looking to make their move, but lost 4 of 5 here to the Brewers as they had a doubleheader a couple days ago, and Milwaukee won that one as well. So Sproat here for the Brewers is actually looked a little bit better here of late. He's a unproven pitcher for sure. Hasn't had the best season overall, but his last 3 starts, 1.76 ERA, 0.98 WHIP, and a 35% K rate in the last 3 starts. Probably still a few too many walks, but did face the Reds twice and the Diamondbacks, so not the toughest lineups in there, but still, he'll see a tougher offense here, a team in Pittsburgh that's been probably ranked in the top 5 over the last week or so, and top 5 versus righties all season long, although they did cool off a little bit here in their last 5 games against righties, scoring 3 runs or less in 4 of the 5 games against the starting pitcher. Ashcraft has been excellent here, 1.1 WHIP, 234 batting average against. He's given up 5 hits in each of his last 3 starts and faced some good offenses, including the Nationals and the Phillies, but he still had 7+ Ks in all 3 of those recent games. So certainly Ashcraft is a pretty good pitcher here. Pittsburgh, 12-6 in Ashcraft starts, even though Sproat has a pretty big ERA right here with 5.13 ERA. The Brewers are 10-5 when Sproat starts. So both teams 67% with this particular starter on the mound. So Milwaukee does it. They find ways to win. Even if they don't have their best pitcher in there, feels like these guys might be able to have a good game. Sure, Pittsburgh 32-16 to the over at home, but I don't mind these pitchers here necessarily. You're getting a nice price on this Brewers team, and they continue to roll. I don't know if I trust Pittsburgh as much in a favorite spot, even though they are an impressive 28-22 as a favorite. The Brewers are over 500 as an underdog. It's just a tough matchup against the Brewers offense. It's always going to be dangerous here, and you're getting a little bit of plus money. I got to take the Brewers in this one to keep it going right now. They are the, like I said, Pirates, not calling them a pretender, but they're not necessarily a contender just yet. But the Brewers here, one of the best teams, man, in the National League, between the Dodgers, of course, but you got the Brewers, you got the Phillies, you got the Marlins in there, and I don't even want to mention the Cubs. I think they're just too inconsistent, but definitely could be some fun here in the National League. Let's go to the chat and see what they're saying here in this one, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Brewers here, I think. Brewers team total over for Barr, 9 legacy on the Brewers, and Cash Kane says Lau for a home run. Keep it moving here on the morning steam show. We got Philadelphia taking on Detroit. Detroit, man, they're hot. I told you, get hot. Detroit, all they gotta do is get hot here. They're still 8 games under 500. Are they sneaking some losses in here on Detroit when I'm not looking? Philadelphia comes in 10 games over 500, but Aaron Nola, he hasn't been great. 5.87 ERA, 3-6 record, 1.46 WHIP. We know we've seen him have an okay start or two. It's not like he's incapable, but man, not what you've been expecting. He's been struggling so much that he's really become just kind of a guy that you expect there to be, a mediocre pitcher. Although he's coming off of his best start, certainly maybe of the season, 7 innings and 7 strikeouts. He still gave up 3 runs and 7 hits. But prior to giving up no home runs there in that one, he did allow 8 home runs in his previous 4 games. The Tigers' offense has been pretty solid lately for sure. Super consistent, actually, with a couple of at least 2 or more earned runs off of the starting pitcher in 7 straight games against right-handed pitching, and 5 home runs in their last 3 games against the right-handed starters. Also, they've looked better, certainly at home this season. We talk about it all the time. Detroit 26 and 21 at home. They've also have a winning streak here right now, and the Phillies are a pretty crummy underdog, actually, 8 and 16 as a dog, although they are 27 and 21 on the road, but they're a dog here. For sure against Detroit in this one. Detroit is on their hottest streak here of the season. Make no mistake, it's a tougher matchup here against the Phillies offense for Flaherty in this one, because first of all, Flaherty hasn't been very good, and Philly does hit right-handers okay. Flaherty's 2-8 overall, so it's hard to just jump on board and say, hey, let's take a pitcher that basically is 2-8. Coming in, but they are at home playing a little bit better. Phillies on the road. Watch for Nola. If he gives up 2 or 3 runs, he could be out of there early in this spot. Phillies got to take this series, even though it's an interleague series, pretty seriously. And Flaherty, he still has some strikeout capabilities here for sure. Made 2 starts since returning from injury, actually, and gave up no runs, 5 hits and 14 K in those 2 starts combined. So I don't know if you want to waive that here. I mean, like I said, the Tigers are 5 and 12 with Flaherty on the mound. They're actually 500 with Nola. Talking about the Phillies here, but both guys with a pretty high BABIP, actually, 331 for Nola and 327 for Flaherty, but let's see if they can slow down the bats a little bit. Let's see what the chat says in this one before we make a call here. All right. And it's going to be Cash Kane. He likes the Tigers. Bar does like the under here in this one. I kind of do too. Like I said, Flaherty here, actually a couple of good starts here of late. We know for both these pitchers, they should be better than their numbers are, but they're just not. Here's Blake on the Tigers' first 5. Here's Farley on the Tigers. Cash Kane says Nola going to give it up. Never going to give you up. Cash Kane here says Tigers on the run line in this one. He'll look for a nice return here with Detroit. Yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit here in this one. Even though Flaherty, I'm not too thrilled about his win-loss record here right now. I'm going to go ahead and take him here in this one over the Phillies. Philly is 10-2 in their last 12 against Detroit. I know it's an interleague series, and that goes back basically 4 years here. And Detroit, though, just 1-5 at home against Philly in the last 6, but Detroit going for their 6th straight win, and they're hot. Okay, we got a little controversy here in the tennis match I'm keeping an eye on. The second time they've had to approach Mariana here in the chair. And VAR here goes under 5 in the first 5. Barry's had questions here. What's happened here is this is the second time that Ferry believes that Zverev has had a let cord, and Mariana is not picking it up. It's actually the third time. He said that after the first time, he said, this is the second time, and you can see the camera move. So it is quite interesting. Mariana's not hearing it. You got to figure, why don't they have, if you ever watch a cricket match, I mean, they know if it barely touches your wicket, they know if it barely touches the bat as well. So And that's what's happened here. Ferry thinks there's let cords on these, and he's not getting it called. And Zverev here has already broken him once and about to take another game here and go up in the second set. Okay, let's keep it moving here on the Morning Steam Show. I'm on Detroit there. Let's take the Yankees going up here against the Nationals in this one. And, hey, could be some big bats here with these two. Although the Yankees' offense is really not that great, but you got Carson Palmquist here with a 7.1 ERA going for the Nationals here. Not saying it's a downgrade here to have Palmquist because he's just an opener here for Zach Littell. Littell has been not good, 5 ERA here and a 14% K rate, and he's really struggled here. He faces a Yankees lineup that finally had a good performance with those 12 runs over the Rays. They got 6 earned runs off of Drew Rasmussen. It was the third time that they've seen Rasmussen this season. The first 2 times it didn't go well, but the third time they were able to close the gap. Ben Rice is hot here for the Yankees. Ryan Weathers goes for New York, 4.28 ERA. 3-7 record here in this one, but that does seem like a little bit of a high price. You've still got this top-notch Washington offense here, no doubt, and I don't think I'm too thrilled with Weathers here at this point. Now Washington, against left-handed starters, they're 18-11. They really thrive in this setting. So maybe here, if Littell, if he's ineffective, maybe we will see some runs for sure. The Yankees did have 6 runs on 6 runs on Peyton Toll in that last matchup. So if Weathers struggles, they could beat this lefty here as well. They do rank pretty well here against lefties in a lot of statistics. Of course, a lot of that came in the beginning of the season, but again, it's starting to catch up a little bit here. Last 7 games, probably a top 5 or better lineup against left-handers here of late. So Littell here gets the opener, and watch Weathers here. A lot of people don't like Weathers. I don't know. I'm hot and cold on him right now. The numbers here, I don't think, against facing this Washington team, you think we'll get some runs here. Yankees still not a great batting average, but still first in home runs. Washington, second in home runs. Come on, you got to think maybe there will be some runs scored in this game. Maybe even early on here in this one. I'm going to go over in the first 5 here in this one with this opener here, Palmquist. Maybe the Yankees get some early on him. I always say, why do we, Littell, I get it. He's not that good, but let's start a better pitcher. Don't be giving up 8 runs and 4 runs and 8 batters and put your starter behind the 8 ball here. I think it's a solid spot for these offenses probably. Let's go over in the first half here with the Yankees and the Nationals as my play here on the Morning Steam Show. Give me the over here, first 5 in this one at 5.5 runs.
Steam play.
Next up, we got to get the plays out. Let's see what we got here. Okay. NYC Bar says, when is the All-Star break? Man, we've been going forever here. We're on 92 games for some of these teams. 10 games over the halfway point. Yeah, no action Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday here. And in fact, just a programming note, there will be no Morning Steam next week on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Actually, is taking a little vacation here for the week with just the All-Star game going. Yes, and WNBA. We'll still have premium plays out there as well. And you can still follow me over the days. We'll have some more action, of course. There's a few sports out there, but this is the All-Star break for me. I take a little respite here, so no Morning Steam for 4 days. Next week we'll return on the card on Friday. There is one game on Thursday. I believe it's the Mets and the Phillies, I want to say, on Thursday for one game. And but we'll be back on the full slate on Friday morning of next week. So we'll be here over the weekend too. But if you're just a weekday viewer here, just note no Monday through Thursday next week. We'll be back on Friday here, and Zverev's going to break Ferry here again. Cash Kane here's over with Jazz here. 2 home runs and a Ben Rice home run, Wood home run. What's that say? Over Chisholm, not over 2 home runs for Chisholm, but anyway, Cash Kane has some guys in there. VAR here on the Nationals, team total over. Nick says, yeah, that's a pretty high line for Weathers here. Washington obviously still playing well. It's not like the Yankees, they're 9 games over. They got the win there, but Washington's been just fine here. Still 2 games over 500. This offense continues to keep them in play, that's for sure. Yankees have lost 7 of 10. Also, don't forget here. And Nationals, they're still not great at home for some reason, 28-20, but feels like they can close that up a little bit. They can close that up here a little bit. Maybe they will. 8 of the last 9 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under here in Washington, but I don't know if that's going to work out here. 13 of the last 19 meetings between the 2, but that's a 6-year sample size, really. Yankees here have lost 11 of 14, 6 of their last 8 on the road. All right. And let's see what else we got here from the crew. Farley's got an over here. And Palmquist, terrible pitching to lefties, and guess who has lefties? So why would you do that, right? Why would you put a guy in there just to open because your other guy is ineffective? Here you should be putting a guy who is absolutely terrific against the other-handedness, right? If you're going to bring a guy out there, you're supposed to have an opener. Sometimes you just don't pick some mediocre guy and say, let's hope he gets through it. The opener used to be kind of a closer type in a way. Kane's got the alternate over. And Barr says, take a vacation. Here's Cash Kane on the over. All right, let's keep it moving here. Royals and Orioles in this one. Luinder Avila goes for the Royals. Brandon Young goes here in this one for the O's. Now, Young is the more established product here so far. Young comes in with a 3.37 ERA and a 7-2 record. He's been one of the solid spots here for Baltimore all season. Now, it is a pretty steep price here, $1.50 or so. Don't feel real comfortable laying that with a Baltimore team that really is just a few games better than Kansas City. Avila here did have a good performance here. Really, he's actually all or nothing with Avila. He's had some okay starts, and the other ones kind of get blown up. 5.05 ERA, 4-3 record, 1.59 WHIP. Said he has trouble kind of harnessing his stuff here a little bit. He is better than the stats say, according to the metrics, but still has a 14% walk rate. And but he has been better recently. Last 3 starts for Avila, he held both the Phillies and the Rays to just 1 earned run through 5 innings. Now, the Orioles have been better against right-handers of late, 2 or more runs in 6 straight games against opposing right-handers, and some huge games too. 8 runs against Hunter Green, 5 runs against Soriano. If you exclude the fact that he got blown up by the Astros, Avila's held 5 of his last 6 opponents to 1 earned run or less. But he's got to keep those walks down. And on the road, he seems to have a little bit more of a problem with control. Young has been great. Also, a good Ks here from Young. Coming off his worst start of the year, though, allowed 8 hits and 4 runs against the Reds. The Royals have had some real big offensive games against lefties here of late, but not against right-handers like Young. So really, they're not facing the right-handedness, it seems like, here in this one. Maybe it will be the Orioles in the end, but gosh, you don't really trust this team to cover as a run line favorite. Believe it or not, the Royals, the Orioles, hard to believe that they've been a run line favorite in half of their games here, really, this season. I mean, that is something to say that the Orioles, when you're a run line favorite, basically means you're the favorite in the game, right? I mean, they tack on the 1.5. Now, granted, for this team, some of their games are so closely rated that 20-28 is a run line favorite. Might even actually be like a break-even proposition, because they're not going to be, minus 1.5 at minus 110. When they're favored, they're minus 1.5 at plus 130 at least, or something. But still, just to think that they'd be in this division, 94 games, they've been favored in 46 of them. That seems like this team is overrated. And I don't know if that's indeed the case, but those are just not great numbers here for sure. For Baltimore overall, you look at the money standings. If you ever, kind of follow that, whether teams are, profitable or not, and the Baltimore Orioles are, down about 9.5 units so far this season. All right, let's see what you have, though, in this one with the Baltimore taking on Kansas City here. Kansas City's dropped 10 of their last 14, including 7 of their, the last 2 here to the Mets, as the Mets were able to win that series. Baltimore has lost 6 of their last 8 games at home right now. Let's go to the chat here and see what you guys have with this one. And it's going to be Cash Kane, Belly in there. Let's see. Oh, he's on the O's money line here. And Bar says, how about the Spain and Belgium game? Yeah, we covered that one, Bar. It's going to be a great game today. I just went over in that one. Just going to go over and hope for a third goal. Yesterday was 2-0. I went over again. You'd think I'd just go under and cross your fingers. But Spain is so good. Belgium, to me, I don't know. I need them, but all right. Farley here's on the over in the first 5, and Blake is on the Royals money line. And Nick says probably some bad defense here in this one. All right. Kansas City and Baltimore here. I really do, man, Baltimore. That is a big price to be laying there with Baltimore. I'm gonna have to take Kansas City's. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go under in this one with Kansas City and Baltimore. I think I'm going under by default here, only because I don't know if I can lay these Orioles on a run line, and I'm not gonna lay $1.50 with you here on the show. So let's keep it moving here right now on the morning steam. Next up, we got the Cubs taking on the Reds, and Hunter Green goes here for the Reds. You got to figure Green can got to be better this game. I lost with him there in that first game back because all the reports were he was terrific in his minor league stint. Came up in the first game, got crushed. Actually, so didn't quite work out for Green in his return to the major leagues here this season. For Shota Imanaga, he's been crazy, right? Looked better here during the past month after some really bad games there early in the season. He's got control still, but he's getting hit hard. The Reds, as bad as this offense is, they are top 10 against left-handed pitching on the season, but have struggled in the last few starts against lefties. In fact, they've averaged just over 1 1/3 runs in their last 7 games against left-handers, and they didn't get more than 3 runs in any of those starts, 3 earned runs anyway. So Shota does have some great case stuff, and Green is going to as well. The first start was not good against the Orioles. 8 earned runs, 7 hits, but he did have 7 strikeouts, and he was throwing 99 miles an hour. So I don't think anybody's saying here, big question mark as far as his potential. Ferry going to go down here hard, and that's going to help that under 35 in this one. I'm going to end up on the L side here, as Ferry might have just ran out of gas here in this tournament against a great player like Sasha Zverev here. All right, so tough matchup here against this Cubs offense that continues to be impressive, no doubt. Yes, they can be up and down. They only got 2 against Baltimore yesterday, but they did win the series. They've been competitive here, really here. Cubs do a nice job on offense. They just need to get it all together here. Cubs 36-26 as a favorite this season. Cincinnati 26-21 to the over at home here. Cubs have won 12 of 14 coming in, 8 of their last 10 on the road. They've also beaten the Reds in 4 of their last 5. Reds have actually dropped 8 of their last 11 and 8 of their last 10 at home. Now, they've beaten the Cubs here at home 5 of their last 6. So this is a home-dominated series for sure. But the Cubs just did sweep the series back in May at home, a 4-game set, outscoring the Reds in that series 23-15, I believe it was, as the Cubs kind of had their way. So will Green get it going here in this one against Imanaga and finally come through with a better performance? And if so, can the Reds offense even do it here? I think it's a good spot here maybe for the Cubs, but I'm going to go under in this one with the Cubs and the Reds and look for these two pitchers hopefully to have a pretty good start here. I'm a little worried about the bullpen possibilities here in this particular matchup because Cincinnati is definitely a bottom 7 or 8 bullpen here. Cubs are, a little better, but really they're just mid-pack. But I'm going to go under here in this one with the Cubs and the Reds. Some comments here from the chat right now. On this one, Far's on the Cubs. Sal Stewart, home run for Kane. Cubs for Farley. And hello to Jimmy Lambeau. He says, take Bobby Green tomorrow. King Green, we call him. And he's a lock. Mark my words. I'll be busy marking the words of Jimmy Lambeau. PCA here to knock one out. All right, next up. Hey, we got a nice one here. The Mariners on the road taking on the Rays. Man, the Rays are hot, and they've got Martinez going here. Martinez, 2.61 ERA, 7-2 record, 1.13 whip. Martinez has been really strong all season long here, gives you a consistent option every time. Rays are 13-4 with Martinez on the mound. They're also 4-13 to the under with Martinez on the mound as well. The Mariners are 5-9 with Castillo on the bump. He's got a 1.33 whip, a 255 batting average against, and a 306 BABIP. Not great numbers here, but Seattle, they've lost 3 in a row again. Once they get out on the road, it feels like right now, no good. 20-27 on the road. They're also an underdog here for sure, and this is only the 11th time this season that Seattle has been an underdog. They're 2-8 as an underdog this season. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay, 33-14 at home, 38-21 as a favorite. And you talk about those money rankings, those money standings in there. Tampa Bay, pretty good. They're up about 9 units this year. Actually, a little bit of a negative on the road, but up 11 3/4 units at home this season. Talking about the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay did sweep the series here last year between the two teams, or one of the series here last year. Tampa Bay did sweep. They outscored them 25-11 here. So I'm going to be taking Tampa Bay here in this one in the first 5. I think with sharp action here, sharp pitching anyway. From Martinez, I'll take him to get out to a lead right now against Castillo in this one. Give me Tampa Bay in the first 5. I'll take him at minus $1.30 here. So some comments here from the chat in this one. We've got Cash Kane, Rays first 5, money line and under. And Farley's got the Rays on the money line. And Jimmy's going to watch the BB show. And Jimmy on Tampa Bay money line. Woke his joke says Rays first 5. And Barr says Rays team total over. Feels like a lot of support for the Rays, man. They keep on rolling here. First place Rays. I got my Rays bet in here somewhere on one of these sports books, I think. Let me see. I don't want to take up too much. I know I talk about it every time, but I have also added here within the last 48 hours, maybe not the best price because they've been so hot, but I did add here a World Series winner ticket, but we do have Rays a futures play in there as well. There here, where's it at? The Rays division winner future right there bet there. That's from way back earlier in the season. So that's at 25-1, and then I took them to win the World Series at 16-1. That might be more of a leverage play. We know the Dodgers are going to be great, but if they get into that position, then maybe that will be maybe in the American League Championship. That should be maybe a profitable return there. So, okay, let's keep it moving here right now on the Morning Steam Show. Oh, Nine Legacy's got some plays here with Baltimore run line, Yankees run line, Guardians money line, Tampa Bay Rays run line, Cincinnati Reds money line, and Tigers on the run line. All right. Thanks, Nine Legacy. All right, the Guardians are taking on the Marlins here in this one. And, man, we're seeing some action here. You may have heard it. I'm sorry I didn't get it to you right away. You may have heard it in the background. The steam just came in a few moments ago. If you remember, just feel like about 5 minutes ago, you heard that steam play, but I was on a spiel. And it was the Guardians and the Marlins under. It was 7.5, but most of the books here have moved to 7 over with Parker Messick, probably now confirmed. Maybe that's part of it. We knew he was going to be the pitcher here today. It should be a good pitching matchup between Parker Messick and Alcantara. Unfortunately, I was going to take the under as my play here on the show, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'll get into it a little bit. I'm not just going to but I just have to take it here. That's my play anyway. Maybe under first. I'll just take it under. Probably should go under first 5 here now with that move, and we'll see what happens with Messick here taking on Alcantara. With Sandy, you still get solid. He's still pitching many innings. He's still got good velocity. Look, Sandy's 10-4. We can make fun of the 4 ERA and say we'll never get the same Sandy. He's also 4-13 to the under in his starts here, so that might be part of it as well. We know Parker Messick here. Oh, I'm sorry, Sandy 13-6, not 13-4. 13-6 in the. His starts are Miami. He is 10-4. Like I said, he's 13-6 to the over. It's Messick that is an under pitcher here, 6-12 to the under. And Messick, of course, good numbers: 2.8 ERA, 2.16 batting average against for Parker Messick. He's an under 6-12 to the under when Messick pitches. Now, Cleveland was in a slump, remember, until they finally got a win there in that game against Minnesota. But they had been on a losing streak after that White Sox series and into the Minnesota series. They finally got an important win. We talked for about 4 or 5 minutes here about how hot and how good Miami has looked. 31-17 at home, 32-15 as a favorite here, and they're a favorite in this game. $1.20 or so, $1.15, $1.20. I don't think they're going to go off as a dog in this one. So at Miami, as good as they've been, I can remember where I was in the 1997 World Series, and one of the greatest World Series we've ever seen, when the Marlins won in 11 innings in Game 7 of really what was a turf. I remember I was eating buffalo wings, and we might have had some action on that game. We might have had some bets going on. But that was a long time ago, 29 years ago. These teams bet in the World Series. Anyways, here, let's see what you got in this one. Hey, it could do it again. It could be who knows? Messick's a great lefty here so far. He's been limiting hard contact all season long, 26% K rate as well. He's a little bit better against righties. Has had some games where he's given up some walks here lately. So, the fact that he's kind of a younger touted star here, that's something you got to be a little bit concerned with. But the Marlins here, they're unquestionably the hottest team offensively here right now in the last week plus in every category. I mean, they are first in batting average, first in OBP, first in weighted runs created, first in slugging, first in everything. They haven't been as good against lefties all season. That's a fact, but they have had some good starts recently against lefties. 5 runs in 2 of their last 3 against left-handers, and 6 or more hits in each of their last 3 games against starting left-handed pitching. Now, Alcantara still is very, very efficient. Like we said, you still get high velocity, you get pretty solid whip, of course, 1.25, and he's starting to look a little bit better again here in the second half. He's very consistent against both sides of the plate, really doesn't have too much of a split bias, but offense here has struggled recently against right-handers for the Guardians. Marlins have won 6 straight and got all this momentum coming in. Every bat in the order for the Marlins right now, from top to bottom. Everyone is a threat here at this point. It seems like Xavier Edwards, Sanoa in there, Sharp. Even these guys at the bottom are hitting the best they have all season. And they don't have great numbers, but right now they're clicking. Let's see what the chat says in this one. Here we go. We've got Cash Kane says Guardians and over. Good morning to Jim Deweiger in the chat. There's Nick says these Marlins are hot. Cash Kane, Guardians first 5. Jimmy Lambeau, Cleveland first 5. Run line. And Nick says full game under here. He likes both these pitchers here. Farley, Marlins on the money line. Kane says Sandy's not that good pitching against lefties right now. And says the Guardians with the 8 of 9 lefty bats against Sandy here, should be better. So interesting to note right there from Cash Kane here in this one. Okay. Let's see here. Vars got the under. And Jimmy said everything Cash Kane said. I disagree a little bit with Cash. I think that the Marlins have certainly. He's talking about Sandy. Yeah, no, I think Sandy here has been considerably better here of late. I think the splits are starting to even out. Okay, let's see what we got here. That might be it from the crew in the chat right there. So I guess I already went with my pick, didn't I? I went with the under in this one. How about this pitching matchup with Sonny Gray and Nolan McLean and 2 hot teams? Man, the Red Sox and the Mets. Oh, man, these guys could go all the way. Well, the Red Sox certainly have picked it up. The Mets have as well. Red Sox feel much hotter than the Mets because it feels like the Mets could just go back to losing again any minute. But the Red Sox right now with a nice winning streak, and they do look like a different team here all of a sudden. They might have put themselves in too big a hole, but they are playing with confidence here. Even with the Mets' recent streak, they don't look like kind of how the Red Sox are looking, if you know what I mean. Red Sox have lost or won 6 straight and 5 straight on the road. Also won 10 of the last 15 games in the series against the Mets overall. But they just meet 1 series a year, really. I think they've met twice here in a couple of seasons, the way they've ended up with the scheduling here, right? Last year's series was won by Boston at Boston 2-0 in a series that featured only 12 runs in 3 games. 10 of the last 14 games between the 2 teams have gone under, including 4 of the last 6 here in New York. Mets have gone over, though, in 5 of their last 6. Mets come in having won 4 of their last 5, but they are just 3-7 in their last 10 on the road. So what do you think here? Sonny Gray, look, he's overlooked for all these awards because, 2.61 ERA, 1.1 whip. He's 10-1 on the season. What do you want? Not only is he 10-1, but they are 12-4 with him on the mound. this season. 274 BABIP, 229 batting average against for Nolan McLean. He's 6-5 with a 3.73 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, 205 batting average against, and 270 BABIP. So it is a good pitching matchup, no question here between the Red Sox and the Mets. But are the Red Sox, come on, they're just a little more clutch, aren't they? Can the Mets really get over on them? Even yesterday, even in the Mets win, you saw Soto, it's just so typical, right? He overruns the ball. Maybe it took a bad hop or whatever, and it didn't factor in the game, but just couldn't help but notice, Soto goes running after a ball defensively. He's an okay fielder. I know a lot of people make fun of it, but, he's got a little bit of an arm, but he looks so lackadaisical sometimes, like he doesn't care, I guess, when you're that good, right? It's kind of like it's kind of like Erling Haaland. It looks like he's not even trying out there, and he's the best guy on the pitch. Funny how America, they are in love with Erling Haaland, aren't they? Boston's won 8 of their last 10 overall here right now, and seem like they're playing pretty darn well. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. I'm taking the Red Sox, I'll tell you right now. I'm not even going to look at the chat. Give me the dog here, Red Sox in this one. I don't want the Mets anymore right now, even with their hot streak, or their warm streak, I guess. It's going to be Jim Duweiger here. He's on the Red Sox. So is Farley. Kane says first 5 under. Boston, Moneyline, first 5. Here's NYC Bar. He likes the over with these two pitchers. He says these guys might not be what we've seen. Sox money line here for Woke His Joke. Hello to Jermaine in the chat. He's got the Sox money line in this one. And AOD's joining us in the chat. Hello to AOD here today. Pardon me, gang. All right. Hey, they're underway right now. Just want to let everybody know if you're interested in a little fighting action. The card underway here at the PFL card right now. The Middle East, North Africa card just underway here. So, hey, there's some fights coming on here on the Fight Pass, I believe. Just underway here. So a little bit of fighting this morning going on here, about 10 bouts kicking off here. All right, and Red Sox, I'll take the Red Sox in this one. A's are going up against the White Sox here with Lopez goes here for the A's. Jacob Lopez, 7 ERA, 1.84 WHIP, and the A's have a little bit hit the wall here, it feels like. As solid as they were with the first half of the season, they're 10 games under 500 here, and not exactly the best option coming out here with Lopez right now. He has 4-3 overall, but 1.84 WHIP. Sean Burke, much better numbers. 3.55 ERA, 5-4 record here for Burke, and pretty substantial favorite here for these White Sox right now at minus $1.70 or so. It does feel like this might be where the White Sox can get those games back a little bit. They do have a little bit of a season series edge over this team. A's have lost 6 straight, but they've actually won 6 of the last 9 over the White Sox. White Sox have lost 6 of their last 8 and 4 of their last 5 at home. But this feels like a spot where they could get back at it here a little bit. A's have gone under in 5 straight on the road, although 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. I'm probably going to take the first 5 here, I think, with the White Sox in this one. Against the A's. I think here with Burke, I think that's the advantage a little bit over Lopez. So I'll roll here with the White Sox in the first 5 at -0.5 at minus $1.20 here in this one. First 5 White Sox over the A's. Lopez's numbers a little bit shaky here for sure. He is the opener. Sabali is going to come in after that, although Lopez could go more than an inning. Depends how many batters he can get through. But Lopez hasn't done anything well. He's had a 7 ERA all season, even in the minors. And again, I don't know why they throw out and try to, put yourself in a bind early on by using a weak opener. White Sox have struggled against lefties. I get that. But they've also faced some good lefties. Okay, I don't know if Lopez is kind that matches up. Now, Sabali, the White Sox have been heating up against right-handed pitching. When he gets in there, watch out. They have 8 home runs against the last 5 right-handed starters that they've seen. So Burke gets the start at home. This A's offense is in a big-time slump. You got a 25% K rate right now. And for Burke, he struck out 6 or more guys in 8 straight games. So take a look at his K prop today. The A's have just 1 run against the last 3 right-handed starters that they've seen combined. So there's no doubt that this offense has been capable, but they're looking down here recently. And even if you think they have been a little bit better on the road, maybe they are still more comfortable at home. They're actually now 22-24 on the road overall here, and the White Sox, of course, 28-17 at home. Probably got to look at the run line here with the White Sox. They're not terrific as a run line favorite, 9-8 as a run line favorite. That's okay, but they are also 29-16 at home on the run line, although they've been an underdog there about 30 times at home, believe it or not. Amazing. This White Sox team, as good as they are, 92 games they've been favored in only 17 of them. All right, White Sox also have all 3 of their best relief arms ready to go here for this game. Let's see here. Take a look at the chat in this one. And we've got Kurtz to hit a home run. Is he healthy and ready to go? We know he's been banged up here for a couple of days, but probably a little bit better here. I don't see him on the list. Murakami here, big news for the White Sox. Murakami is expected in the starting lineup here today. Murakami and all those 20 home runs here. Got to have him in that lineup. Murakami. All right. Think of that. White Sox been playing so well. And here's Murakami coming into the lineup. Trevor Richards on the bereavement list here for the White Sox. So I said they got all 3 of their top pitchers here in the bullpen, but a little bit prayers up. All right, Sox for Jermaine. Kane says Athletics on the reverse run line. Nine Legacy likes the White Sox run line. Astros run line today. Farley on the White Sox in the first 5. And hello to Sharpie joining us in the chat. Let's take a look. Sale and Otani here today. He says the books are begging for the money, so I don't know if that means we're supposed to take it. Man, imagine that, begging for money on Sale and Otani. I think that means value, right? Is that what that means? Does that mean value on 2 of the best strikeout pitchers of all time? All right. Thank you to Sharpie there. And here in this one with the White Sox, I took them in the first 5. Okay, next up here, let's keep it moving here on the Morning Steam Show. We're going to go to, I'm disappearing here on my, Mikey, you out there? My screen has just turned to 1 inch. All right, here we go. Find my place again. Astros and Rangers here. Hunter Brown goes against Cal Quantrill. Hunter Brown certainly perceived as a better pitcher here, but we'll see if he is. I mean, Quantrill, he's been toiling in the bullpen a lot this season. He's got a 3.34 ERA, 1.17 whip. We know he's been a starter a lot, but Texas hasn't really used him too much in that capacity. For Hunter Brown here, Brown, 1-0, 6 starts so far, 3.38 ERA. Quantrill has just 3 starts this year, 18 appearances, and decent numbers. So watch out for Quantrill. We know that he can, he's been durable in his career. He's been a starter before. You got the Rangers here as a dog against a rival team like the Astros. The Astros record doesn't prove any better. If anything, you're just thinking that maybe Hunter Brown, is considerably better than Cal Quantrill. But is that indeed the case? The numbers are virtually even. In fact, Quantrill arguably has better numbers. And even though he's only been a starter 3 times, we know that he can be, a 5-inning starter. He's got a 3.35 ERA, Brown 3.38. Brown's got a 1.3 whip, Quantrill a 1.16 whip. Batting average against Brown, good numbers, 213, but Quantrill 230. And BABIP-wise, Brown 271 BABIP, and for Quantrill 248 BABIP. Not to mention Brown 13% walk rate, Quantrill just a 7% walk rate. It's the strikeouts that Brown will mow you down, but Texas is certainly just as good as Houston, it feels like right now this season, and you get them as a dog here. I don't know if I want this Astros team. They've lost 2 of 3. Houston has won 2 of 3 right now, and these two teams obviously in the division ranks here, they've already met several times this season. Astros did just take 3 of 4 here at Texas back in May, and they played an earlier series in May. Texas did beat Houston on the road in that series, but this feels kind of even to me. I feel like there's a little bit of home dog situation. Let's see what you have. Maybe these pitchers will work out. Maybe the first 5 under might be my call here. Let's see what you guys have with these two, because you got Brown here. Solid numbers, but his walk rate, that has to be concerning at 13%. And his last 3 games, 6.23 ERA for Brown. He just gave up 6 runs. It was against the Rays, and this is a little bit easier than playing the Rays. We know that, but Rangers rank in the bottom half of the league versus right-handers, and they haven't looked very good. So maybe it will work out for Brown. Walbert Urania gave up 5 walks to the Rangers, and they still didn't get a run on him. So maybe Brown could have a solid outing here. Quantrill, like we said, mostly in a relief role. But the Astros offense has looked good recently. 6 home runs in their last 3 games against right-handed starting pitching. But I don't know. I think the price here, Jacob Latz will not be available here for the Rangers there. And also their other good arms have thrown twice in the past 3 days. So the Rangers do have a little bit of problem in the bullpen. So I'll go under in the first 5 here with the Astros and the Rangers here. I trust Quantrill a little bit here, maybe to at least stay in the game. He did throw 66 pitches in his most recent start, so he can go 70 for sure, I think, in this one. Let's see what you think in the chat. And hopefully you're liking my previews here. Sharpie, what's Sharpie saying here? Don't bet unders, but it's not enough for me to bet the over there. Okay, see? You say that right now it might be one of those, it might be a tarp. It might be a tarp in there. Man, the books sometimes know things that we don't. Although the book should be a reflection of the public market. Okay, Farley likes the under here, and Woka's Joke is on the under. They like the under. Okay, I'll like the under. I'll take the under first 5. That's what I'll do. Under first 5 with Brown and Quantrill. Let's keep it moving here on the Morning Steam Show. We've got the Angels taking on the Twins here. Zebby Matthews. Matthews starting to look a little bit better here, maybe. Now, Grayson Rodriguez has an ERA of 8. It hasn't gotten any better for Grayson. 1.83 whip here for Rodriguez, and the Angels are mired in another slump. The Twins were hot. They actually lost last game, but no fretting here. They lost to Cleveland, still took the series 2-1. Angels, meanwhile, did win 1 game from Texas there on the road, but now they're continuing on to Minnesota, where the Twins are playing better. They've got to feel a little bit of momentum here in the division. Now they've crawled back into contention here. Angels have lost 8 of 9. They've lost 10 of their last 13 to Minnesota. Minnesota's won 5 straight at home against the Halos here. And Angels have gone over in 5 straight and 6 of their last 7 on the road. So if they can hit Matthews, maybe we will see an over. But Minnesota's 16-11 to the over as a favorite coming into this one for Rodriguez here. He hasn't seen much time, but he's got a walk rate of 12% right now. He's given up 2 or more runs in his last 3 outings. The Twins The offense has been good in recent starts, better against right-handed pitching, so they should be able to get to him early, I would think, here. Minnesota. In this one, I kind of like him in the first 5 here. Matthews still feels like he's got good potential. I just don't know if we've kind of seen it outside of his last start, which wasn't that good. He does kind of limit hard contact. Got a 20% K rate, 1.16 WHIP here right now for Zebby. So you have to consider that. Zebby actually looks pretty okay here right now. The Zebster. Let's see what you guys have in this one with Minnesota and the Angels here. I'll go to the chat here possibly to get your plays. I feel like this one might be too easy. I might take the total just because I think everybody should like the Twins here. The Angels have been just terrible right now. Let's see if the chat's going with. Not much from the chat. It's Farley. He's got the Twins team total over here to smack it down. Smacky the Frog on the Angels here in this one with Matthews as a favorite here. So, okay. I got to go under in this one. I'm going to go under at 9 runs. Oh, 9 over. Wow. Let me look at that. Is that right? 9 over favored? I like it even better. Heck, it's 9.5. It's 9.5 under 20. Give me the under. Give me the under. We'll see what the Angels really do right now. Maybe Rodriguez gets crushed, but I'm going to go ahead and take the under here in this one. Next up, the Braves are on the road against the Cardinals. Here's Chris Sale. Sharpie was just talking about it, basically saying that the line has been set as a trap here, that the books realize that these guys are not going to have as solid of outings here, possibly, if I'm interpreting Sharpie's comments correctly. Still, you have Sale here, 2.27 ERA, 9-6 record, 1.12 the WHIP, 112 strikeouts on the year. For Leahy, nice prospect here, 3.86 ERA, 1.45 WHIP, not great. Braves have won 2 in a row. The Cardinals have been in a little bit of a slump here against the Brewers, of course. Knocked them around. Braves here, still 42-25 as a favorite. You got to kind of look at this one as a run line perspective with that big line. Atlanta is 37-30 as a run line favorite. That's not bad. That's good. The Cardinals, though, 42-26 as a run line underdog. Remember, they've been underdogs here. This St. Louis team, 12 games over 500. They've been underdogs in 72 of their 92 games this season. Imagine if you only won the games you won and you're the Cardinals. You'd be 20-72 this season if you played exactly. No wonder the Cardinals, you talk about the money standings that I like to refer to. Yeah, no wonder the Cardinals are one of the most profitable teams around at 7 units, particularly on the road, though. They're up 8.5 units. So Zverev is going to win this match here and probably beat me unless we can get a tiebreaker in this one. I'm going I could only push even if it's a tiebreaker here. I need Barry to win a set. All right, let's see what you got, though, here in this one with the Braves taking on the Cards here. And I don't know, Cardinals on the money line, plus 1.5 at minus $1.30 here. Is that right? That looks a little, that doesn't look so bad to me. Look, Braves are playing fine here. They got Sale, but if Sharpie says Sale is going to underachieve in this, let me take the Cardinals here on the run line. That's what I'll do. Cardinals plus 1.5 minus $1.30 or so. Give me the Cards in this one. If Sale's not going to be mowing them down here anyway, I'm going to go ahead and try. Sale, he's certainly one of the best pitchers in the league. Great command, great K stuff. We know 28% K rate, 6% walk rate. Cardinals have been worse at home, but against lefties, there are a little bit better. They don't K much against lefties, and now maybe that is part of it. against left-handers, Cardinals actually are very, very solid in not striking out a lot. We know Sale is something special, but maybe there is a little bit to that. Leahy's been solid this season, but looked good in recent starts. Just one earned run for Leahy in his last 3 starts. So, the Braves offense is starting to look a little bit better. Still missing Acuna, but they've been better of late. They've been better against right-handed pitching, and this is how they should have looked. But it's been a bad month or so plus right now, it seems like, for the Braves. They've given some games back, but there's still 16 games over 500. It's the Cardinals that have also given some games back here, now 48 and 44, but they're still definitely a playoff contender here this season. So let's see here. Maybe the Braves bats are the ones you'll target, but watch out here for Leahy. I'll take the Cardinals on the run line. Here we go. We've got Stop Geo in the building, as they say on the internet. 9 Legacy Twinkies run line. Bar's got Angels on the run line today. 9 Legacy on the Cardinals. And here's Farley. He likes the over here in this one. And NYC Bar, Braves team total over. All right. Tell you what, that Pirates Braves over. You knew once the money started rolling in. I mean, I was on the over there, pretty big play, but once the money started rolling in yesterday, you knew that one was going over, Braves and Pirates. Okay, here we go. Blue Jays on the road against my Padres here. Watch out here. In this one, Bieber and Sears. Bieber obviously didn't look very good so far. He should be better, should get better, I would think. I thought he would come out ready to go, but didn't look good right now. So he'll have to be better here. But JP Sears, 4.69 ERA, 2-1 record, 1.37 the whip. So yeah, Bieber, 7 earned runs in 4 innings in that start against the Mariners. Padres offense has been more solid of late, and they're starting to pick it up, but unfortunately they can't get the pitching and the hitting in the same game. It seems like one is good when the other is not, and you can't really do it like that. So Sears has been a serviceable left-handed pitcher, but he's been in the minors most of the season. The Padres have had him as kind of a emergency situation. Wonder why he wasn't up earlier, if he's going to be okay. He just had a great outing against the Dodgers, so there is promise. 5 scoreless innings, but that was an anomaly, really. Blue Jays offense has not been good in recent games. They did have a nice series there against the Giants there and picked up a couple of wins in San Francisco, including that 10-0 win. They scored 19 runs in their last 2 games, and we'll see here in this one what they can do. The Padres, Bieber's been bad, but the Blue Jays aren't a team that really can back with him on the mound right now. I don't know if can we ever get the old Bieber? Can we get the old Bieber back? The Bieber believers here. So let's see what you think. Maybe you think over. It's still here in Petco, where you definitely have Padres 20 and 27 to the under, 14 and 23 to the under as a favorite. I keep saying the Padres are improving. It's hard not to when you're last in the league in batting, right? So that's part of the problem here is the Padres are so dismal with this offense right now, still last in every category you can imagine. Only the most basic of categories that, they say, well, you can't trust batting average, RBIs, or hits. Okay, so show me a team that is last in those categories and can win games consistently, and that's what's frustrating right now with me rooting for my Padres. Toronto's got plenty of issues too. 27th in RBI, 27th in slugging. Their problem is they can't drive in runs. They're mid-pack in batting and mid-pack in hits, but they can't drive anybody home. So I don't know. I felt like it might be an under, but everything I've read is everyone's pointing to the over. The Steam came in on the over as well, so the Sharps are on the over here. The thing's 8.5. I mean, I can't believe it, actually. Maybe it is going to be going over, but I'm a big doubter here. I'm going under in the first 5 because I just don't think that the move is that solid here. Look, I don't like Bieber and Sears any more than the next guy, but I'm going to go under here. I think that line move is not that great. I'll go under 5 runs here, first 5 in the Padre game. I can't tell you these guys are going to pitch very good. I just think that the line went up a little bit too high. Padres for Farley and under for VAR. He's with me on that. Maybe that. Hey, look, it may be 5-3. I mean, it may, but let's just dial back the runs here when the Padres got the worst offense in the league. Okay. Diamondbacks and Dodgers here. Here's a good pitching matchup, although you heard what Sharpie was saying here, maybe with those Ohtani Ks here, because, Arizona, they do look, they're up there. They're beating the Padres now here at this point. They're moved ahead of the Padres here. I think they have, right, by one game. No, maybe they're still tied. Let me look. I thought the Padres are – okay, they're tied anyway. 46 and 47, but feels like Arizona's got the momentum, and they've got Eduardo. Eduardo's been so solid, 2.25 ERA, 1.16 whip, 7-3 record overall coming into this one. The Diamondbacks here, they've lost 7 of the last 9 to the Dodgers, including 4 of the last 5 here in Chavez Ravine. Dodgers 12-4 straight up in their last 16. Dodgers have gone under in 5 of their last 6 and 4 of their last 5 games at home. And Arizona's gone under in a wild 13 of their last 15 games on the road here. Man, how does this thing not stay under here tonight with Rodriguez and Ohtani? Let's see what you have here. Ohtani is 250 or so that might be a little bit tough. Maybe you lay it here with the Dodgers, but Arizona's playing okay. Let's just say it like it is. The Dodgers, as good as they've been, they actually are better this season in the regular season, I think, than the last 2 years. Nobody's touching this game in the chat. Wow. All right. That's going to put the pressure on me to make the call. I'm going with the Diamondbacks here on the run line. Of course I am. Give me the Diamondbacks here on this run line. Ohtani, look, he might be great too, but I'm going to think that Eduardo maybe can match him here in these first innings. Arizona's 30-22 as a run line underdog. Dodgers 18-29 at home as a run line favorite. They let Colorado cover a bunch of run lines here this weekend. So give me the Diamondbacks here on the run line on the Morning Steam Show at +1.5. And, he's such a big favorite here that, hey, this isn't a bad price here, I don't think, for Arizona at even money. I'll take AZ with Eduardo. Here's someone in the chat. Farley's got the first 5 under. Hey, we got nearly 3 dozen of you in here joining me for the Morning Steam Show, and we've got one more here on the docket with the Rockies taking on the Giants with Tanner Gordon and Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray, 3.45 ERA, 8-6 record coming in. Pretty consistent, not bad, especially considering how some of these other Giants pitchers have looked. For Ray here, the Giants are 11-6 with Ray on the mound. He's 8-6 overall, 216 batting average against, and a 236 BABIP. Those are solid numbers. The Rockies, as fun as they are, they're still 19 games under, and they're not really that great. Hey, a run line dog here, 52-42. They've been an underdog in every single game except one this year. Imagine if you only won the games you'd be favored. You'd be 1-92 if you were the Rockies. That doesn't work for them like it did for that other when we were talking about the Cardinals. But Giants here, 14-20 is a run line favorite. They're not a great run line favorite, but this is one of the most dominant home-away series right now in all of baseball. The Giants have won, I believe, 19 of the last 20 games at home against the Giants here, including 7 straight right now. So this one goes way back. It's a total domination series, big time. So, I'm not saying when a team dominates another, that means they can get the run line, but they might. I'll take the Giants in the first 5, though, just to be sure here, because they're not a great run line team, but they are $1.55 or so in this game. So, Ferry here. Hey, all right. He might be able to see what happens here, but I got to root. Well, you know what? I got to root in the chat there for that. He's not going to win this match. Coming up, Yannick Sinner and Novak Djokovic. Okay, give me the Giants here at -0.5 in the first 5. Give me the Giants, first 5. On the Morning Steam Show. All right. That's it for baseball. Let's get your picks here real quick on this one. Then we'll move on to the WNBA and the show will be over. Don't forget, an hour and 10 minutes from now, it's Bases Loaded. Sharky, Mikey, they've got you covered here on the Friday baseball card. Dodgers run line for VAR. Rockies money line for Cash Game. Also here's VAR. He's going over 8.5 runs. Farley says Ray to record the wins. A great price to win this one. Rockies should have swept the Dodgers. They always play good against those Dodgers, huh? Dodgers play down to their opponents. All right, that's it for the baseball. Let's move here now to the WNBA. Get my script out over here. Get to it. Nice card here today. Hopefully, we can bring some home. Let's take a look at the action here. Oh, you know, I forgot all my graphics here for the baseball today. What an idiot. I mean, I had all the games all lined up. I go to all this trouble to do the Sports Money Network graphics, and I don't even show them. I mean, you know, the last 5 minutes I don't come on the air here delaying the start is because I'm working on these graphics, and I'm waiting for it to render in the AI, and I want to have, man, no wonder I get fired everywhere. All right, here we go. Let's go. At least I'll have the WNBA. Man, that makes me mad now all of a sudden. And you know what it's like when I get mad. All right, let's go to the WNBA here. I'll start with Dallas and Toronto here in this one. You've got the tempo, an underdog here to Dallas. It's up to 7.5 right now. And look, I get it here. Dallas has been hot, 3-game winning streak. And Toronto, now they've actually lost 3 in a row. They've had a nice season here for an expansion team, 9-12. Dallas does feel like, man, this team is, continuing to be impressive here right now. Take a look at the WNBA standings here, and you got Dallas kind of moving up the charts here at this point. They still are behind Minnesota, Las Vegas, and Golden State in the Western Conference. You treat the WNBA though as one big conference overall, so they do have a better record than every team in the East. Actually, in fact, they're half a game better than New York. That's how good the West is. The 4th place team would be in 1st place in the Eastern Conference. But Dallas here, winners of 3 straight right now, coming into this one with wins over Connecticut, Toronto, and New York. Toronto, meanwhile, with losses to Phoenix, Dallas, and Golden State. The game these two teams played that I just mentioned was on July 5th. It was 89-76. Dallas won and covered 6.5. It was here in Toronto, so they've already met here, and Dallas did cover the spread in that game. But Toronto is not an awful cover. They're 9-5 ATS at home, and they're getting an increased price here against this Dallas team. As good as Dallas has been, they are just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, often favored here. Zverev has wrapped it up here, and the Cinderella story is over for Arthur Ferry, but he has won the hearts of this home crowd here. Final 7-6, 6-2, 6-4 as he wins it by 7 games, and I lost. But Zverev is in to the finals. All right, let me cover this WNBA here, and then I'm going to go watch the Djokovic match. I saved the Djokovic match, right? For Dallas here, like I said, struggling against the spread, 2-6 overall in their last 8. They have won 4 of their last 5 on the road. To mention Toronto, good at home as a dog, but they are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games at home. So they were favored in a couple of those, though. Dallas has gone under in 4 of their last 5, but Toronto's gone over in 7 of their last 10. I'm taking Toronto here in the first half. Look, Dallas has been good, but it seems like they do just enough to win. And I think of that situation here with a Toronto team that does have a penchant for covering at home, I'll go ahead and take the first half line here with Toronto at plus 3.5. Give me Toronto first half plus 3.5 against Dallas. Okay, let's see if the chat does anything here. Also, there's Flea here. He's here. He's in Vegas right now, and he wants to take Connor tonight. Oh my goodness! Yeah, I wish I was. Oh man, that's. Hey, don't sweat it, Flea. Join the guys. I know you'll be at the fights, but join the guys here on Saturday night. Nothing I can do. I mean, I contributed a lot to that show. They've just decided to go a different direction. And hey, let's face it, show's not going to be as good, but still, you're going to want to tune in here to the Sports Money Network on Saturday night with the guys. It's going to be awesome. I'm still there. I'm tuned in. Not going to be chatting in the chat or anything, but Woke's joke here. Yeah, you're right. Woke's joke. Gosh, so sketchy, right? That's just my nature. VAR here says go under. Kane says take the wings on the money line. All right, let's do a couple more here. Oh, wings. There's another wings first half for AOD. And next up, the Valkyries are taking on the Sun here in this one. Valkyries. Another road favorite here, another stiff road favorite. And, well, what can you say? The Valkyries are the best team going here right now, the hottest team. For sure. They've got a big winning streak right now. Connecticut actually playing some of their best basketball. They've won 3 of 5. Give them credit. But the Valkyries here really putting it down, not only winning, but covering. They actually didn't cover, remember, in that game I just mentioned about with Toronto by half a point. They've been covering everything, really. But Connecticut, 12-7 against the spread as an underdog, but man, I just feel like the Valkyries are playing way too good. Look at this total, 153.5. There's a good chance this game does not get to 150. In fact, it's 155 right now. It's been moving back up. I don't know. I don't think they're going to get to 150. In this game. That's how good the Valkyries have been playing, especially defensively right now. The Valkyries are 2-8 to the under in their last 10 games coming in, and you think of how smooth they look on offense, but it's really the defense. Maybe some of the best defensive, maybe the best defensive team. I think that's true, right? The best defensive team in the league. Does anybody disagree there? I think so. Let's see what you think. Golden State's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games and 7 of their last 8 overall here. I'm going to go under in the first half. I think that's where the value maybe is. You can't say there's too much value. Everybody seems to be on it here. Although I will say it was as low as 152 and it's up to 155 full game here. And I'll go under in the first half. Did I say first 5? That was not good. I'll go under 75.5 here in the first half with Golden State and Connecticut today. Under first half, Golden State and Connecticut in this one. Connecticut's playing a little bit better here right now, but they beat Minnesota. Remember that big upset? They also beat Washington and they beat Chicago. Not tough games, but they were underdogs and they won. So give Connecticut a little bit credit for playing a little bit better here of late. Okay, one more comment here. Let's see what we got. And yeah, oh no. They're not having any of that. Okay, let's keep on moving on here. Sky taking on the Sparks here in this one. Sky favored on the road here. Sky is favored now? Sky is favored now? No, no, no. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. The Sparks are favored in this one. 1, and now the total down here to 176. Yeah. Yeah, so you want to make sure you're signed up for my fight package over there at winnable.com. That's the only way you're going to get the picks, my full card picks on my win club here moving forward. Okay, Sky and Sparks. Yeah, the Sparks are favored, but they're playing terrible right now. They're 9-11, but ever since Plum has left the lineup, it is a big problem for sure. The Sky come in here playing, certainly better, 7-14 here right now. Playing, it might be the Sky here actually in this game. I don't know if I can quite do it, but I might. This one feels like it's going to be a higher scoring game. I mean, it's at 176. All these LA games seem to go over right now. Even without Plum, they seem to be continuing that high pace. They're 7-4 to the over at home, 8-5 and 3 to the over is a favorite here for Chicago. 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. LA, one of the worst, if not the worst, spread team. 7-13 ATS overall, 3-8 ATS at home, 2-6 ATS is a favorite. Chicago playing a little bit better here right now. They've also kind of owned this series against LA. 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. 8 of the last 9, Chicago's covered the spread. They've also covered in 7 of their last 10. LA 2-5 straight up in ATS in their last 7. Pretty much coincides with Plum's absence. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. Give me Chicago here in this one on the Morning Steam Show. I'll take the Sky to win on the road here over LA tonight. Let's get to the chat here in this one. VAR likes the over, and Woke his joke. He says he does not like Caitlin Clark. I think he says he roots for any team that abuses Caitlin Clark. That is a terrible take, Woke his joke. Oh, he roots against, so he clarified it. See, that's the thing is, I love Woke his joke. I will criticize people who I think make bad comments. Some people can't handle that, and they take it personally, and that's kind of what happens sometimes. But I think I'm a sports commentator, so I'm here to give my opinion on sports. So if anybody needs a guy on a show, all right, 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. And, oh, man, that's going to do it. I was having such a good time. We do have one game tonight here in the CFL. It's the Argos on the road here taking on the Blue Bombers. Now, you do have missing at quarterback here. This is a big deal. But, the game last night, it may have gone over. It may have gone under. It was 57. It went up to 58.5. Here on the show, we went with Edmonton. They crushed, right? They crushed them by 6.5. We had them by 6.5. They won 40-17. But now Drew Brown is in tonight. Caleros is out. That could affect things. There's still been 13 of the 18 games have gone over. Maybe yesterday was a push. So can Winnipeg here without Caleros, and Drew Brown is in there. Now, Drew Brown was on Toronto last year. I don't know if that helps or hurts him. When he was on Toronto last year, he faced Winnipeg, actually, and threw for 406 yards in one particular performance, although he was knocked from the game, I believe, had a terrible performance against Winnipeg. But now he's on Winnipeg, and he's expected to start with Caleros out tonight. They are at home. I kind of think that Winnipeg is still decent enough here. If Brown, look, good guys here that he can get to the ball to. Dembski, of course, Tim White in there. These are guys you can trust. And you still have Brady Oliveira, of course, getting it done, even though he didn't have a good game against Hamilton. He's had good games against Calgary and Edmonton here so far. You have Ontario Wilson also has been a pleasant surprise here as well. So look, I think here the defenses actually have a good matchup. I don't want to necessarily say this is a spot to go under because there have been so many overs, but I am going to take the under because Caleros is missing. And it does feel like really the games that we're seeing have both teams have good stellar quarterbacks. Remember the game that didn't there? It was, who was it? The other day that played in a game was it Ottawa's last week game that, they're the winless team here. And, any team, and nothing wrong with Jake Mayer. I mean, we know, although he's not comparable right now to these other CFL quarterbacks, that's just the way it is. So Chad Kelly for Toronto, of course, although, look, if anything, Winnipeg has, I think they have one of the better defensive against the pass. Now, look, if Toronto can kind of show some guts here a little bit, and they're favored after all. I mean, they've got the advantage at quarterback, but they might be able to run on these guys a little bit here. But I don't know. I'm going to go under, even though it seems crazy. But Drew Brown in there, he is not Caleros here, so I'm going to take the under. The Bombers could still win the game, I think, but we'll see. All right, let's see here. All right, and woke is Joe saying the Lakers there. They're heavy up top there, I think. Jim Duweiger liking the Argos here. Woke is Joe said he had Edmonton and the over there last night, and he had the hook on there. Oh, man. And it was a blowout there for the Elks. Okay, I guess that's it, gang. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned for Mikey and Sharky here at the top of the hour, and they'll guide you along for tonight's card. Have a great sports betting weekend. Don't forget, you can check out my UFC contribution right here on this channel when you go to BB MMA Picks and fight analysis here. I'm really just the host of that show, but I throw in a few comments in there, and you can kind of tell sometimes who I'm going for, but I'm just the host. We got BB and his stellar crew here, so should be a great fight card tomorrow. Can't wait. There's some, like I said, there's some PFL Mania going on here right now currently, so you can watch some fights this morning if you want to get in the mood. All right, that's going to do it, everybody. Really appreciate it. Have a great sports betting weekend. We'll be back for 2 more days and off for 4 days, remember, next week. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, gotta